I had a sex question, didn't know who to ask, till I went to Sex in South Beach and got hooked up real fast.
Today's show is called Nooky 911, and to help us break it down, I am very happy to have this amazing physician join us. He is the Chief of General Medicine at the University of Miami Hospital. Please give it up for Dr. Olveen Carrasquillo.
Thank you, beautiful.
Oh, nice
Pleasure
to
to
see
be
you off
here.
campus. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy. I know.
But hold up, you know nothing goes down without
Beautiful Miss Holly Peno. Give it up.
Hello.
Mwah.
You're gorgeous today with that color on.
Oh,
Hello, doctor. I've never been so close to somebody so important before. It's nice to meet
Get
you.
closer.
Get closer.
What about me?
Well, if I could sit in your lap, you know I would.
Yes, okay. It's a love affair we're having here. Okay,
Great love affair.
I feel left out, but that's okay.
Oh. Okay. Let's answer some audience questions.
Let's do this.
Okay. So, my husband's semen does not taste good anymore. It used to taste okay, but the taste has gotten progressively worse as he's gotten older, and one of his favorite things for me to do is to drink his semen when I'm performing oral sex. I'm not laughing at the question, I'm laughing at Holly's face.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Does he need to go to the doctor? So, okay, first thing
Pineapple
first.
juice.
That's the first thing. Has his diet changed? Because
So gross.
dietary intake, your nutritional intake, can really impact the taste of your sexual fluids. How's that? So you really want to make sure before you have sex, you want to gussy them up with some water.
So that's
some
not
pineapple
urban
juice.
legend. Like, that's real true stuff right there.
Absolutely.
They can drink pineapple juice or eat fruit, and that'll help sweeten.
Absolutely,
the
it helps
nastiness.
sweeten the juices. And you know where I really learned this? This is before I learned this from the books. I interviewed some porn stars, and they were telling me actually before they go on a shoot, the night before, they just are all about the fruit, all about the juices and
This
the
is men
fruit.
or women?
Yes,
Or both?
for men.
Okay.
This is males who I couldn't actually find any women who wanted to, but we're working on that. But you know,
Okay.
for now,
I'm sure they're out there.
Yes, who want to be interviewed and talk about it.
Oh, well.
The men were more like, yeah, I'm a porn star. Let's talk about it.
Were
Let me
they?
tell you. Yeah, they're like, then you do. And you know another thing, this is a little off topic, but you know another thing with porn? They normally don't get turned on by the person who's in the movie with them. There's fluffers all over the set. So these fluffers on the set are like hot people who get them all excited, and then they go shoot, and then they have to go and be with this person who doesn't turn them on. And so one thing I often tell people, porn is fantasy. It's a movie. Those are actors and actresses getting paid. Not every woman, most women, they don't just undress and oh, I'm so excited just undressing for you. And you know what? Most women just don't get turned on just because a man is naked. And that's very different.
I'm curious about those fluffers. Do they get paid, or is it like do they get paid in like perks?
I guess I'm sure there's some volunteers, but I would imagine. I didn't interview the fluffers,
Okay.
but that's a
whole other show.
That's a new goal. It's a different show.
That's a whole other
Completely
show.
different show, and I appreciate Dr. Carrasquillo's professionalism with not participating in that whole segment.
No, but there is a big part to it, which is when there's a change in your bodily function, whatever it is, you do need to check medical advice. It may have been a simple change in the diet, but there's some things that can be going on with the man, especially as you get older, that may cause this. So you want to have checked out. You could have prostatitis, for example, or you could have some other issues going on.
What is prostatitis?
You could have an inflammation of your prostate, and that could be, basically it's an infection.
Is that where the doctor sort of invades the man?
Okay.
That is one way we sometimes diagnose it.
Or is that like a cough and cough type of thing?
No, it's not. That's for the hernia. But
Do you think there's a need for that bumper sticker? Men, it's okay to bend over. Do you think that would lead to healthier men?
we're actually moving away from that test now. We don't do it as often as it used to be done.
But the
Now there's
prostate
other
check.
ways, yeah, like for prostate cancer, there's easier ways to check it. However, again, changing something like that could be a subtle sign, so you do need to be checked out.
So you do need to get checked out. So
That's
yes,
the important thing.
yes, send your husband. Actually, don't send him to the doctor's. Girl, you need to go with him.
Yeah, take it.
Because you know he might go out and get ice cream.
Make
Or
him play with
he
it. Yeah,
might-
like chain him up like by his neck and drag him.
Right.
No?
Well, that'll be a whole nother medical interview.
Okay.
No.
When he comes in on his leash. Okay, that's like okay.
Different type of doctor.
We have we have time for one more question. Okay, this is from a concerned husband. Okay, my wife never wants to have sex anymore. She used to be very sexually active before we got together. One of the things that attracted me most to her was that she was very forward with her sexual desire and she was always open to trying new things. But for the past 5 years or so, her sexual drive has declined and now she just totally doesn't want to have sex anymore at all. What's wrong with her? What type of doctor do I need to send her to? So, okay, I have the answer. Before you start diagnosing your wife, ask yourself, when's the last time you romanced her? When's the last time that she had a day off? First thing you need to understand is that women's brains function very differently from men's. Whereas men, the corpus callosum, or the thing in their brain that carries thoughts, it can only handle one at a time. Whereas women's, ours is much wider, so we can actually handle multiple thoughts at a time. So if we're stressed out or we're concerned about work or we're concerned about the kids or the house is dirty, we don't have time for sex. We're too busy thinking about that. And the other thing is men have much higher levels of testosterone than women do. So think about it. A man can think about only one thing at a time and has a much higher level of testosterone. And that's as aggressive. So he's thinking about, let's do it. Women, our testosterone levels fluctuate. Most of the time they're pretty low. Right before, during, or after our menstrual cycle, they actually rise. Which is why women tend to want sex more during those times. So A, ask yourself, when's the last time you've romanced her? And two, when she has her menstrual cycle, when's the last time you've really tried to put some effort in and get it on? So once you try those two things, then you can work on diagnosing your wife.
Yeah,
But
because there's nothing worse than you flip them over and tweak their nipple and try to stick it right in.
and I think, the way this was written, what's wrong with her? What type of doctor do I have to send it to?
2 weeks ago, we saw a lady, while she's in the exam room, her husband's calling her to make sure that she's telling us about this. And that was basically what she came
But he
in
didn't have the
for.
time to go.
But I mean, it's really interesting. So I mean, I agree with you, right? So this is somebody that was really stressed, had 2 kids recently, a lot of hard time at work, a lot of things are going in her life. So that was likely it. But again, like I said, 90% of the time, it's not due to medical causes, it's due to other things. But there's a couple of things that we do want to check just to make sure. But it's true. I mean, oftentimes it is non-medical. There's lots of things that the men needs to be more attuned to that the lady. Could be problems at work, it could be other issues, it could be husband not paying any attention to her. And those are the things that we're not good at. We're good at checking that blood test to make sure you don't have high blood sugar. We're not good about...
Right, they're good at doing one thing, see one thing at a time. See?
But a lot of people are afraid of doctors these days. I mean, they don't have friends like you, and get to meet people like you that are open and not judgmental. And I mean, going to the doctor is intimidating.
Right.
Even if it's just for a normal checkup, you are just absolutely afraid that it's gonna be cancer
And one thing that's when
or AIDS.
when people are intimidated from going to the doctors, one place that I always recommend for both men and women, and it's very rarely utilized by men, is Planned Parenthood. Because they have heard everything and they actually give physicals often on a sliding fee scale. So if you have no money, you pay no money. And they also treat men, which a lot of people don't know about.
The important thing is to make sure you get checked. I mean, women have to be checked regularly for chlamydia. Everybody has to be checked for HIV regularly. We actually have lots of time. Men come in, young, healthy man, you're not exactly sure why they're here for a physical. When you ask him about the HIV test, he goes, actually, my new girlfriend wants me to have. And they'll want copies of that result to show to the new girlfriend.
Sure.
I mean, those are critically important things.
Right.
And we're used to those kind of visits.
Interesting, we recently did a study on diabetes and wrote a paper on sexual functioning of diabetics, and we found that actually there was a lot of sex problems among, especially the women had low sex desire, and we know from all the research like 12% of men with erectile dysfunction, that's how they actually find out they have diabetes, is because first they can't get it up. And also, this is the whole thing, most doctors really just want to help.
Right.
And so every now and again, people have a bad day. So if you had a bad experience with a doctor before, try again.
Yeah,
The answer is
I
just
was
not
definitely afraid
to
of
go to a
doctors.
doctor
I really was.
anymore.
And in my opinion, I had really good reason to be absolutely afraid of doctors.
But we tell people when they don't know how to, I said, go on personal recommendations. Ask 2 people,
Right.
Who do you know? And that's the best way. Word of mouth is the best way. A lot of this stuff online just really doesn't work. Who do you know that has these similar values, preferences? Who do you see as your doctor? That's the best way. So somebody says that, I would go to that
and that's
doctor,
exactly how I find my doctor. So that's in my opinion, sound advice.
Thank you, Dr. Carrasquillo.
And Mr. Dr. Carrasquillo.
Dr. Carrasquillo.
Doctor,
and
doctor.
thank you, the beautiful Holly Peno.
Thank you.
I'm going to see you at your show
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Friday,
You're coming to do
Shameless
some stuff for
Burlesque.
us, right?
Oh yeah,
You're
I'm going
coming.
to do some stuff at the
That's right.
Burlesque
She's
show.
actually going to
so
come
yes.
to the show.
I'm
Yes,
there,
Friday.
yes.
Yay, that's
I'm
Friday.
burlesque. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. This is Sex in South Beach. Ciao.
Is it time to wake up your love life? Looking for an easy way to have some sexy fun? Well, let me guide you and your boo through a sensual night of fun in South Beach. We're going to start off with a private tour of the world-famous Erotic Art Museum. Then, you'll get blindfolded for an all-natural experience that will stimulate desire for each other. Next, I'll give you some personalized flirting exercises to practice over dinner. And of course, you can ask me anything you want about improving your relationship. And to make sure your night ends with a bang, this date night climaxes with a seductive performance by Shameless Burlesque, starring Holly Peno. The Sex in South Beach Date Night Special happens on the last Friday of every month and space is extremely limited. So register now at drsonjia.com or Eventbrite. See you in South Beach, where everyone comes for a happier, healthier love life.
I heard I had heard that you can buy used panties from a vending machine in
wow.
Japan. Yeah,
And I've been to Japan.
This might be a stereotype.
That is surprising because I didn't
you
get any
didn't
used
see
panties
vending
when I was in Japan.
You didn't?
No,
what?
I did not buy any used panties when I was in
Well,
Japan.
I unless it's your, I mean, why not? Yeah, why not?
Well, I got married to an Asian, so I have to abstain from this discussion.
Right.
And today's homework is go to sexinsouthbeach.com, join the VIP list, and for your daily dose of nooky knowledge, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And you don't want to miss the Sex in South Beach podcast on iTunes,